Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday after a very long weekend. A weekend where my stomach wasn't the best, but feeling better today. Yes. So, anyway, I just thought I would do a short pop up that may end up going longer than that because it could be that some people want some readings. So, I'm open to that. Um, get my cards out here ready in case anybody wants to ask questions. I hope you all had a good long weekend. Those of you who are traveling, I heard that tomorrow is the better day to travel. And so hopefully, hi Cal, how you doing, girl? It's good to see you. You're welcome to come on with me if you're not busy. I'm just pulling some cards and talking about a book. Um, all right. So, hi Snow Wolf. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a good holiday weekend. Good weekend past. You're melting. It's 85 degrees. Oh my God, Kelly. Really? I'm so sorry to hear that. No AC? Oh dear. Got to get Mark in on and get on the ball with that. Oh Lord. Wow. Hi Lottie. How are you, honey? That's awful. Isn't it funny that you're? It seems like in Ontario you have the most extreme weather. It's either really, really hot or really, really cold. Oh, she's been ill again. You know, they get into stuff and eat stuff, and you're watching them like a hawk. And you know, if you don't know, Kel's got a puppy, and you know puppies. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes you can just be so diligent, and they still get into stuff. But so I get up in the middle of the night. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Oh, you're okay. Well, you can listen to it later. You can listen to it later. Yeah, it's cold there too, Lottie. Oh my goodness. Um, so I get up in the middle of the night, per usual, to go to the bathroom Sunday night, and I stepped right in April Joy's poop that she decided to leave right on my path to the bathroom. She's 2 years old. She's 2 years old and she still poops the floor. It gets really old. It's really, really old. Oh, Sharon, I hope you're doing well. Sharon, are you still on vacation or in? I read somewhere that you said you were in Wisconsin. Is that right? Hi, Christy. Oh, good. Wayne Dyer's books are so good. Every single one of them are good. There isn't a bad one in the lot. Hi, Esther. Um, and yet, this one has spoken to me like no other has ever spoken to me. And we had our book club, and anybody that's interested, by the way, we ended up having eight ladies show up for the book club on our Zoom. We meet once a month, and yes, he does, Sherry. He sure does. Hi, Isabella. Hi, Esther. Hi, Hypnicity. Um, and I got an email today from one of the gals that was in it, and she said it was the absolute book she needed to read with what was going on with her life. And I always say that it is when the student's ready, the teacher will appear, whether that be in a book. Yes, okay, Kelly, I understand. Hi, Pam. I do. I understand. I just was popping up and I said, you know what? I can't put this book away until I talk about it just a little bit more and encourage people to listen to it or read it or whatever it is that you like to do with regard to the way you read books. But this particular book is called The Power of Awakening by Wayne Dyer. Wayne has been gone for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. This book came out in 2020, but it is from one of his seminars that he gave. He used to give a lot of seminars on PBS, and now even still, you can go on there and you can see him, and he talks, and he's got a really easy way of talking, and he really hits the nail on the head when it comes to things. And so it just seemed like putting this away right now wasn't in the cards for me. I've read it over a period of time. Hi, Viviani. Hi, honey. And I was sorry, Sherry, that you weren't able to also be there because you didn't feel well. And hi, Jay. But I think it's really worth it. And actually, I'm going to leave this book out. Once again, it's The Power of Awakening by Wayne Dyer. I'm going to leave this book. I could read it 20 times and still get something new and interesting about it. Yeah. There isn't anybody that I've heard of, and I'm sure there is somewhere, but most people that are like spiritual nonfiction reads really love Wayne. And it's because he doesn't talk down to anybody. He talks but he also doesn't talk way over anybody's head. So it's really, really, he's really a great author. And he's got, oh my God, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 books. Like, and Hay House always has his stuff as well. But this book is so full of information. I was we were talking at the book club. I said, we could probably stay working with this book for like a year and never really hit everything that we'd like to do or talk about with the book. There are some things that I talked about in one of my shows when I was first starting to read it, because I actually started reading it before the book club did. And I said that it was, yeah, I know, honey. I hope you're feeling better though, Sherry. I hope you're feeling better today. But when I started reading it, I thought this really needs to be one of our very next books that we read. And so it was really well met by everybody that saw it, and they thought that they agreed with it. And so, but next time we're reading about the Akashic Records, How to Read the Akashic Records by Linda Howe. And so I'm just letting you know about that. If anybody's ever interested. Oh, thanks, Viviani. I had a great time with Val. I just love her energy. She's a great gal. So what this particular book talks about is how we can put in mindfulness practices and have spiritual tools in order to use that in order to grow in our spiritual coursework or whatever. Hi, Craig. Nice to see you. Yeah. I am going to do some card readings, but not right at this moment. But if you want to put it up, go right ahead. Oh, good, Sherry. Yes, Sherry. And be looking for a little something from Amazon in the next couple of days. I sent you something that I found for myself, and I thought you would enjoy it. So it's on its way. How about that? All right. One of the things I like about this is I already know this, and most of you all know about it as well. There isn't anything that we haven't sort of tapped into in our spiritual journey, but the fact that now is the only time we have, and that if we live our lives as though this is the last day, we will live in appreciation and gratitude for that which we have, and how we can spend, because there isn't yesterday, that's gone now, and there isn't the future yet, because we don't know yet if we're going to be there. So right now we need to work more aligned with certainly the now. I love this. He says that John Quincy Adams, one of our first presidents, had written in his journal this about, no, he wrote it in a letter, I'm sorry, to a friend of his. And he used himself in third person. And he said, John Quincy Adams is well, but the house in which he lives at the present time is being dilapidated. It's tattering on its foundations. Time and seasons have nearly destroyed it. Its roof is pretty well worn out. Its walls are much shattered and tremble with every wind. I think John Quincy Adams will have to move out of it soon, but he himself is quite well. Because we tend to think that we are just our vessel. We are not just our vessel. Our vessel is what carries our soul and carries who we are. And so, yes, we need to take care of our vessel because we'd like to be around longer than like maybe a used car or an older car would be. But I know Craig Dixon's got a 1930 something old car that he bought, and it's in beautiful condition according to him and pictures that I've seen. And in order for that thing to still look as beautiful as it did, it had to be well conditioned and taken care of. And so the inside and the outside had to be treated with TLC. There are a lot of other cars that were made at the same time that have long been gone in junkyards that were definitely overused and overtaken by weather or poor accidents or whatever it is. And we pretty much also have that capacity as well. That's why when somebody like Tina Turner passes, we say, oh, that's fabulous that she lived as 83, but to some of us that's not very old. And then we have somebody like, this morning I heard Rosalind Carter is 93, and they've just said that she has dementia. She has Alzheimer's. And so she's living her little life out with her husband, Jimmy, who's been in hospice now for 3 months and still hang on. And, maybe there was nothing she could have done to alleviate the fact that she would get dementia. And yes, you're absolutely right. We do have soul contracts that we make. And we kind of already know what we want to learn and how we want to learn it. And so, absolutely. Can we change some of those soul contracts? I think we can. I remember Andrea Galvin telling me that sometimes we have more than one exit point. Let's put it that way. We can decide whether or not we want to leave at this exit point, or if things are going really well and we want to hang on for a while. Sometimes we can do that. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we've opted pretty much to leave right when we've contracted to leave, and we've already done what it is we've needed to do, and it's time for us to move on. So, MJ, thank you, dear. I'm glad you're here. The discussion is for you. Yes, it is. It's for all of us. Yes, we can all make improvements. And yes, Craig, I agree. We've learned to take care of your friends and family. We are all treasures. Absolutely. You are all treasures. Absolutely. I think I talked a little bit about, I think it was with Jean on Sunday. I said that one of the things Wayne Dyer talks about in this book is the fact that we're all fringe dwellers. And we found each other here, all us fringe dwellers, and we, there are more of us coming out. There are more of us that are feeling comfortable with it and not worrying about it as much. But so many of us, and especially when I was away, we heard over and over. I heard over and over again, I found my tribe. I found my tribe. And, my family, you understand me. And they would start to say, I have something really weird to say. And we'd all go, no, you don't. Because you're with your tribe. You can say whatever you want to say. While we may not all agree on everything, some of us like ETs, some of us don't. Some of us like, this way or that way or doing it. Pretty much, we don't think it's weird. We don't think whatever anybody has to say is weird. Now, I will tell you this. I taught a continuing ed class at my college this past 2 months on alternating Thursday nights for about an hour. And I ended up with 5 beautiful ladies who all were interested in spirituality in one way or another. And this was a spirituality class. And so the things I learned from all of them and that we could discuss were so fabulous, just so fabulous. And one of the ladies in the last night we had, I said, who wants to bring up anything else before we leave? Because I'd like to know, maybe something you want to tell me or the group or whatever. And she said she had a reading done and she was told that she was not a person. Now, I've never heard that before. And I kind of wondered what that was all about. I'm not sure if all of you have heard about walk-ins, walk-ins. Ruth Montgomery brought it up, and there's others that have brought it up, where a soul is ready. It's saying, I'm done. I'm sort of done with my lessons here in this life, but their vessel is still fairly okay. And so another soul comes into their body and takes it over. And I don't mean maliciously. It's usually after a near-death experience. It could be after a bad accident. It could be after a whole bunch of things. You've heard of it, Jay. Good. Yeah, it's been around for a while. A lot of people don't really tend to, they don't either know about it or whatever. And I said, do you think you were a walk-in then? And she thought about it. She said, I really don't know. I said, what is it that they felt you were? And she loves cats. And I just got the sense that maybe she had the soul of some kind of a big cat. I don't know. Hi, Valerie. It's good to see you. Good to see you, Val. I don't know. I've never heard that before. I don't know if anybody has ever else heard that they have been told that their soul is not. And then I thought, is she an alien? What is it that she is? Because she sees ghosts. She's had experiences where her cat has looked all around her. And I said, she must be looking at your guides and your angels that are around you. It was just so fascinating. So I'd be interested to know if anybody else has ever heard of anything like that before. Some of the other things that I was told weren't too unusual, people feeling that they were in the right place at the right time, feeling that a walk-in may be connected to the lyras, which are feline. Thank you, Valerie. Now that might make sense. So she may have been an entity, an American. Oh my God. She may have been a human being and perhaps at some point decided to become a walk-in. I don't know. Well, that's true, Clara. She did walk into another person's takeover, so to speak. Yes, that's true. Well, I don't know. I just thought it was fascinating. I can tell you this. It was a very eye-opening experience for me. And I really, really enjoyed working with these ladies. One of the ladies, she was an older lady, and her husband was a medium, and his mother was a medium. And she said her son went downstairs one day. He was living with her, and he was in his 30s. And he didn't come up for dinner. And she went down there, and he was gone. But the husband said earlier, and there was nothing wrong with him. The husband said earlier he had gone downstairs and seen a dark-skinned woman standing outside of the son's door. And I think the son was either maybe Native American, maybe Latino, or maybe African American. I didn't ask, but the color was darker skinned. And so I thought maybe that mother came to get that son, because she adopted these children. So anyway, it's just so much fun. Yes, it was a meant to be moment. I agree, MJ. Yes. I love it. Pam, I was told I have the crystal vision. What book would help with that? Pam, if you go through some of the books that bring you your awakening, to help you with awakening, if you haven't awoken yet, then I would go to some of the books that talk about the stones, and I would go into some of the stone shops and see how they feel, how those things feel for you, and how you might be able to access the crystal vision, or because you're probably a stone speaker. In other words, you will know what stones resonate with you and who needs what and that kind of thing. And it's all about learning about the stones. So I would suggest that maybe that's what you want to do in order to get yourself going with that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So yeah, being a fringe dweller is fascinating, isn't it? Just the idea that for many of us, we think that people don't understand us. We've even had our family laugh at us, or our friends laugh at us, or think something's wrong with us. And so we kind of have shut down a little bit. in order for us to be protected. But now is the time to be open, because I think you're going to start drawing more people that feel that way in. And once you realize that you are on the same sort of a path, although all of us are on differing paths, that this would be something that you would draw more to you, including animals and other things. I'm sitting here yesterday doing my show with Jean and walking by two deer. They always come by I'm lucky I have them in my area, but they always come by when I'm on my show. It's kind of like, hello, we know you're here. It's good to see you, you know. You're welcome, dear. Hi, Eliza. Welcome. So, he suggests that we get into the habit of telling ourselves, this is the last day that I have. Because you know something, all of us at some time or another have got to face that last day. Nobody's leaving here alive. And when you tell yourself this is the last day, you get a whole new perspective on the worlds of form and non-form. You know, death is just another transition rather than anything to be feared. And I've always been told that if you lose your fear of death, you can really live your life. That's very important. And we've been taught so long, to be afraid. And I know none of us really want to step into that and say, oh yeah, I'm ready to go anytime. It isn't that. It's more, now that I'm not afraid to die, I can really live and I can really be authentic and speak my truth. Yeah. Good. He says, do you know there's two kinds of freedom? The first one is counterfeit freedom or phony freedom. It's not real. It's not authentic. It is, and we pursue it relentlessly in our society because we think that we are entitled to it. But I also want to tell you that if you have a cell phone, ladies, if you have a purse, fellas, a wallet, if you have bills, if you have a car payment or even a car, then you are not free or things, if you have things, because you are tethered to those things. You want to make sure you don't lose them. You want to make sure that you have them available to you. So as far as freedom goes, with that regard, there is no freedom. We like to think in America that we have freedom, but we're always being told what to do all the time, whether it's good or bad. We're being told what to do. Some of the most popular forms of counterfeit freedom come from drugs or alcohol. And I have seen this over and over, that when people give up their addictions, then they find themselves to be truly free, because our addictions hold us back and also keep us sort of unafraid. Yeah. This is The Power of Awakening, Eliza, by Wayne Dyer. Came out in 2020. Comes in a audiobook, it comes on Kindle, it comes in paperback. It was not a book he wrote in 2020 because he has passed, but it was his estate is taking all of his seminars and making them into books. And why I love all his books. I recommend any of his books. But why I love this one is there's just a whole bunch of stuff in here it covers. And it's almost like getting a nibble on everything that he has said in the past and a reminder of where it's going. Thanks, Sharon. Hi, Pierrette. It's nice to see you here. How is everybody? All right. He says both legal and illegal drugs take away our freedom. I have to say, I have to take legal medication, but in some cases it does take away from who I am, because it limits. There's things that it does to my body that probably aren't very good. He says the reason that counterfeit freedom is so horrible for us is that we can never get enough of it. With a drug, you spend most of your life chasing your high. And a drug could be even things that you feel like you need to buy all the time, or things that you have to do all the time. This is one of mine, unfortunately. It's my Starbucks habit. I guess there would be worse, but it's expensive. It's an expensive habit because their drinks are very costly. And I need a reminder. I need a reminder because I think every morning I have to have some more of that. And that's counterfeit freedom. I can get it maybe, but it's going to cost me in some way or another, monetarily, or it takes away something from me. The test of authenticity is whether you need more of something in order to keep feeling free. If you do, then you're not free. Wow. He says authentic freedom, on the other hand, doesn't demand anymore. When you experience it, you're not going to say, I'm not satisfied. You are going to feel a sense of, I am here. This is it. I've got it. This is real. This is authentic. And I've talked before about authenticity and authenticity in our lives and how we live. Do we live authentically or not? Or do we live by the constraints of other people's decisions or other people's judgments? Because really, we only need to live for ourselves. Yeah, you can be addicted to anything. You're absolutely right. And multiple things. Some people move from one addiction to another. I have to say that I have not been able to take care of this myself. I already know that. It is a work in progress. Yes. Carol Good, Wayne Dyer's self-confidence audio. You listen to it every day while you walked and it changed your life. Very good. Very good to know. I love him. I can't say it enough. He just puts these things into, erroneous zones. Good. It jumpstart you, Wayne. Good. Yeah, there's a lot of them that are out there that are just fabulous. Just fabulous. They're not that expensive, I don't think. I can't remember how much this one cost. It was $16.99, but I got it on Amazon, and I know that you can get it cheaper on Kindle if you like to read from Kindle. So, but I like that it came out also in paperback, and you didn't have to go through the hardback thing first. Yeah, absolutely, Valerie. We all have something that brings us joy while we're here. Yep. You can't be a part of liking Dyer, Eliza. Tell me why. I'd like to know, because I haven't heard anybody that has said that, and that doesn't mean that you have to like him. I just like to know why. Why? What is it that he's done? Let's say that you're not into. Okay. Let's see. Let me get into. Oh, I brought this up. Oh, you cleaned your basement. You donated lots of stuff to Goodwill. I'm doing the same with the rest of the house. And making. Oh, you are then bringing in room for new things, Viviani. By donating and cleaning out and making room, you're making room for other things to come in. That's fabulous. We all need to do that. We do need to do. We tend to say, oh, what if I need it later? You know what? Well, if it's really that important, I guess we could probably get another one if we really felt. Oh, so you met him in Maui. He did you did a reading for him at the books. You did a reading for him? Oh my word. So you believe he was shallow when he was alive. Oh, okay. Well, if you were into his energy and you were feeling what you were feeling, I honor you. It's certainly your prerogative not to feel, aligned with what he does. And he was old energy. I will say that, because when he passed, he was over 80 years old. So there's probably some of that male energy from the patriarchy that you were feeling. I'm not sure. But yes, I don't feel as though I'm with Carol. We're not worshiping him, but I understand. I do understand, and you're entitled to you are absolutely entitled to your opinion, both of you. So, he'd leer at the butts of women in yoga class. Well, I'd rather he leer at the butts of women in yoga class than say that he was going to grab them by the you-know-what. Because I think men tend to do that, but it's okay. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh, Valerie, that's a good point. You don't resonate necessarily with the people, but you resonate with their message. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he lived from his root chakra. All right. Well, that's very interesting. Have I ever pulled cards on Jeff Bezos? No, I haven't, but I could. Why don't I can I bookmark that? Let's see. All right. There. I bookmarked it, and so we'll see where it goes. I'm live streaming from YouTube, StreamYard, so I'm trying to work around. Oh yes, silver lining. I agree. It is spring, and you know what spring does. Spring, we can spring into action. We can spring forward, like we did with the time, but we can also spring into action. And I have to be honest. With my husband being away, I can get rid of stuff a lot easier than I would if he was here, because I know he'd be going, "Oh my God, I need that." Yes, especially the old clothes he tends to wear. My daughter says the same thing about she. She was down here this weekend, and her husband has this hat, and he wears it all the time. And I guess he's worn it since she first met him. That's how old it is. It's like 15 or 16 years old. And she says, "Are you going to die with that hat on? Do I have to cremate you wearing it?" So all us women feel the same way. Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry, Eliza. We're not trying to upset your tummy. Oh, dear. Oh, hopefully you'll feel better. Valerie, Shungite is a lifesaver. Yes, it really is. All the dark stones are. I really like them. I really do. And she has her third grade workbook. My friend did. My friend passed in 2011, and she had every single thing saved her entire life. All her clothes, all her dolls, all their clothes, all her books, all her work from school. And they actually ended up with having a fire at the house. And it wasn't planned. I mean, the fire took off, and when that happened, all that shit went away. So it's like, if you don't get rid of it, it finds a way of getting rid of itself. Oh, Silver, you're in Honolulu too. Ooh, all right, cool. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you. Books are the hardest to let go of. I agree with you, Wayne. I really do. So I'm going to just mention a few more things, and I'm going to move on if you have any questions, because I really think I just wanted to bring it up. I really felt it was important before I put it away to talk about it just one more time. But I also want it to be something you're interested in listening to, and something that you might want to read if you're thinking of finding something to read. But I don't want to tell you everything in it, because then you wouldn't want to read it, right? That wouldn't be much fun. So he says we really need to listen to our higher selves, because the coincidences in our life are much more meaningful when we do, and we're able to manage them. They're not so much of a shock to us. I know now when I have a synchronicity happen, I go, yep. Hi, Heather. Good to see you, Heather. The other one is you become aware of the universal source of energy, and that you are part of that universal source of energy. You know that it isn't some phenomenon you read about. It becomes part of you, and it's you raising your vibration and joining in all the other vibrations that are going on. You access divine guidance. You ask for your angels and your guides to help you, and you ask for help with the archangels and others if needed, ascended masters. You have a newfound sense of appreciation, gratitude, and awe. And I can only say that when I was, for instance, on my way down to Sedona, I've been there many times, but I had a whole new appreciation of the colors of the rocks and the feelings I was getting, and the sky and everything. It just overwhelms me. I get overwhelmed. And it isn't as though the Southwest isn't gorgeous in all areas, in Arizona, in Utah, in New Mexico. I love all of it. But it's almost as though I'm seeing it with fresh eyes once again. And it's so nice. You feel a sense of connectedness, shattering your illusion of separateness. You're not separate. Hi, Mary Thornberry. Oh, well, I'm glad you did, Heather. Thank you, dear. Hi, Gina. We are all connected. Sometimes we don't feel connected. Sometimes we feel very disconnected. Sometimes we're disconnected from ourselves. But if we can work through that and take the time to ground ourselves and bring down whatever it is that we're needing to know, then we can realize that we're connected not only to ourselves, we're connected to the animals, we're connected to, the hummingbirds. Yesterday, there were 3 birds that were out on my fence sitting there, and my 3 Shih Tzus were out there. And I thought one for each one, they didn't even see each other really, but it was just a connection that I saw 2 threes. One was flying and one was more grounded. You become a waking dreamer. You have your daydreams. You become aware of those things that you are feeling, and you bring in whatever it is that you're focusing on. So you got to be careful with it. There's a lot of people that want to tell you that, but you have to be. Hi, Foxy Roxy. Nice to see you, dear. Yeah. Okay, many humans have good messages, but they still live as humans with their own flaws. Yeah, we do. We do. 3 little birds. Oh, thank you, Teresa Ford. I'm not either. And many have red-headed woodpeckers. Oh my God. I love those little woodpeckers. I have a hooty owl out there at night sometimes too. How about making a new agreement with reality? That the limits of our perception expand to include an other whole world of energy that coexists with us. I love that. You stop looking for counterfeit freedom, as in what we just talked about with alcoholism or drug addiction or shopping addiction or coffee addiction. I don't know, whatever it is. You experience bliss and it becomes more and more common. I love bliss. Bliss is cool. You become less judgmental, more forgiving. And that's just one part of this. This book is about 174 pages long. And honest to God, I'm a very fast book reader, as you well know, because I have to be, because I teach reading and writing. But I took this book and I ingested it very slowly, and I had to take notes, and I had to highlight things, and I had to put in stuff like this. And like I said, our book club talked about it on Saturday, but we could still talk about it. It's just a book. So if anybody wants to ever talk about this, please let me know. I got a wonderful email from one of the book club gals today that said this book helped her with a situation she was dealing with this weekend, and it didn't surprise her, but it made her feel very connected to the information. So there you go. Hi, Pisces Greeter. Hi. So there we go. So I know that it's interesting because I know that not everybody resonates with certain writers or certain things, and I'm sorry to hear that Eliza didn't. But that at the same time, we take what works for us, and maybe this didn't work for her, but we take what works for us, and we move with that, and see how we, where it leads us. And I always get another one right afterwards, and it goes like this. And I never heard of the one after that I find. It's like I'm reading what is it? I can't think of the name of it. It's by Paul Selig's a channeler. And so I'm reading that book right now for myself, and it's fabulous. So it's really good. It's really good. All right, let's do a short reading here on Jeff Bezos, Mr. Newly engaged Jeff Bezos. I don't know how you say his name. You're doing pretty good at being a one-finger typist, Silver Lining. That's awesome. Anybody else in the chat, please read on it. I'd love to know what you find out. Some of you are oracle and tarot readers. Do a deep dive on Jeff Bezos and tell me what you find out. And let's see if we resonate with what we come up with. I'm really concerned about the debt ceiling, because today, I don't know why, but I saw all the wing nuts, all the far right coming on, Chip Roy and Bobert and Andy somebody or other. not people I really care about learning their names, but they all came on and said, oh, this is awful. And this other guy came on and he says, you know what? Nothing in life is perfect. There is no perfect. And so if we can come to an agreement on the debt ceiling that works for both sides, and this does, then we should take it. What the heck? Oh yeah, Gina. I bet you're right. Oh yeah. Did you hear that Melania had her prenup? She wants her prenup, or she did have her prenup redone, because all of those ladies that have been complaining about him, or they getting money out of him, she wants to make sure she's one of them. Oh God. Okay, Sherry. Oh good. Yeah, you'll have to let us know. It was Hypnicity asked, have we done a deep dive on him? So whatever you think is the question. So, oh boy, I get here. He loves to look in the mirror. I believe it. He loves himself. I guess he'd have to, but he's a billionaire. So there are a lot of people that won't shop from Amazon. They say they boycott Amazon. By the way, did you also hear that the not the prime minister, but minister of something in France is telling Elon Musk that he better clean up Twitter and not make it so radically right, or they're going to ban it in France. I loved it. I thought that was it. When will the mirror crack? He's got to do some shadow work, because he's not seeing his soul. His soul is all money. All money, money, money. He's looking in the mirror, and instead of seeing his face, he sees the dollar sign. And I'm feeling that that's dead on. No, it wasn't Macron. It was one of his ministers, one of his minister of, not propaganda, but something like that. And he said he wanted that to be taken care of. Yep. TikTok. I don't know if somebody's going to buy it or not, or if people are all going to be boycotting him or not. I can tell you this, as an Amazon Prime person for the last, probably almost 20 years since it first came out. There's a lot of things that they're charging us for that they never used to charge us for. If during the pandemic I had groceries delivered, and I gave a tip to the person dropping it off, but now they're charging $6.95, $3.95, $12.95, depending on how much is coming in. People that work there have to work so hard that when they come to my house to drop something off, they throw it over my fence. And I'm not happy about that. I've had some problems getting what I've needed on time. They won't come up to my porch. They leave things out in the rain. There's some problems. But yeah, the clock is ticking for him. I don't know what that means necessarily. If that means his business is going to be sold or go downhill, but it's already gone downhill. Yep. It's his male energy he cares the most about. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Okay. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest man of all? I am. Me, Jeff Bezos. Oh my God. Oh, that's pretty funny. That's funny. Oh, I'm enjoying dabbling with you. Oh, well, I'm glad you guys are all here. Just having fun. Just having some fun, spending time together with the Fringe Tribe. Hi, Ann Simpson. It's good to see you, dear. I just decided to come on because I was talking about this again. I just feel like this is so important. And we talked about it in the book club. And I don't know. I just wanted everybody to know about it. So it's good to have it. Yes. Time keeps on ticking. And Timex watch takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Remember those ads with the diver dove off the high cliff in where is it? The rainforest or something. And then they came up and their watch was still running. So, yeah. Anybody else got any questions? Anybody else do a dive on, I know Sherry said she would. Oh, they don't. Yeah, I'm glad they don't ring the bell, Craig. But I have dogs, so I don't want them to ring the bell. But I get it. I get it. If you know, it seems most of them don't even come to the door. That's why. My UPS guy, well, and my post office person is not very nice either. They throw crap over as well. So I think that they feel like they're not getting paid enough and they're being asked to do more work than they want. And Ann and I talked about that on the show with AI and how the expectation is possible now that we've got AI doing some work for us, that the employer expectation is that, oh, you don't have to do this anymore, so you're going to have to do more of this, that kind of thing, which has its good and bad, of course. But yeah, we did talk about it. So anyway, yes, you remember Foxy Roxy? Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the debt. Let's take a look at the debt ceiling. Let's see what happens. If we get like half the Republicans and half the Democrats that are more middle of the road, and they both come together and vote for the passing of the debt ceiling legislation, then it could work. But today, somebody said during that meeting of those crazy people that they were going to call for McCarthy again, and all you need is one person to call for a vote again. And you just knew it was going to happen. It's like you get one shot, and one person can make that decision to take it to a vote again. And give me a break. That's crazy. All right, so I'm reading on the debt ceiling, but I'd like to really know what Susan and Linda G think, because they're the ones that they're good. They're good at what they do. Oh, there's some feminine energy around it. So one of my Congress people, Pramila Jayapal, she's against what has been proposed, but she is in the left caucus of progressives. And so I know that Bernie and her and a few others on that side aren't happy with the things that they had to negotiate. But I'm thinking there's some kind of a woman's going to play a role in this, and I'm not sure. And I hope it's not Margie. Oh my God! I get the tree, and so I'm thinking that the branches of government. I'm thinking branches. The branches of government. The trees also represent to me. Leaves represent money. And that's what we're dealing with, is this debt ceiling crisis. If we I think, though, it's saying if we stayed grounded, if we have the people that we need to do it, and everybody can stay grounded and not up here in their brain screaming for what it is that they think they deserve, that would be a much better place to be, of course. But it's going to take a strong focus, like a ballerina would, in order to make this thing go through. And I sure hope it does, because I know there's a lot of people in this audience, especially, that are either almost ready for Social Security or are already on Social Security, present company included, because I get it. And I really don't, I'd like to be able to pay my mortgage next month. So it would be nice. I've worked hard my whole life so that I could get it. And I'd like to be able to pay my bills. So, yeah, I don't know. Yesterday, some of the reporters were talking to Biden, and he said he wasn't going to say what a great deal it was, because then the Republicans were going to say, oh, well, Biden thinks it's a great deal, so it isn't. It's bad against us. We get that. But the funniest one was Steve Ducey from Fox, the kid Ducey, not the father. He asked if Ron DeSantis becomes president, he has said he will pardon all of the January 6 people and Trump. What about you? And Joe Biden looked at him and just went, funny. Thanks, Sharon. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Silver Lining. You're a sweetheart. Yeah. Another round of aging. We're only as old as we think we are. Some days we think we're really old, and other days we're teenagers. All up here. Yesterday I was old. Yesterday I missed my entry into my show at 2:00 with Val because I thought it was supposed to be at 4. And I've been taking Prevagen because I'm tired of not remembering things. But we'll see how it goes. It's only been a few days. And so there you go. Who else? What else do we have to talk about this morning? Well, it's been almost an hour. Can't believe it. Yes, Sherry, I know. I absolutely know. I knew that I was getting older when at 38, I think it was, gave my son a skateboard, and he was probably 10 or 11. And I said, "This is so much fun. Just wait. I'm going to show you how to do it." And I jump on the skateboard and I twist my ankle and I also tried to, the monkey bars, when we used to hang from our back of our legs on the monkey bars. I had done that, tried to do that too. And I realized this girl isn't young anymore, but I think there are other people that can do it. I just never was that good at it. So yes, yes, Teresa, small details are easy to forget. Yep. Especially the ones in current time. Like I said, when I was coming back from Sedona, my husband had 70s on 7 and 80s on 8 playing, and I loved to sing along, and I just was singing every song. I knew all the words to every song, and my husband actually was flummoxed because I said, "Remember this song? No. Remember this song? No." Anyway, some days you feel as old as Methuselah. Oh, that's a good age to have a granddaughter, Craig. 5 years old? Oh, that's awesome that the nurse thought you were in your 50s. I always love that when they go young. Yeah, good for you, girl. You must radiate out that energy of a 50-year-old. Because when we were 50, we thought we were old. When we were 40, we thought we were old. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, no. That's awful, Sherry. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Well, if anybody's got another question, good for you. Oh, that's wonderful, Silver Lining. Yeah. Good girl. It's when those things happen that we really have to expect miracles, because miracles are there for us if we believe in miracles. And I say that, but I also say that it's more so for ourselves than others. If we personally are going through something and we can say we think we can do something about, because when we pray for somebody else, we have to ask them first of all. We can't just pray for people. They may not want us to. But the other thing is they have a contract, and maybe their contract does not allow for something like that. And maybe they don't have the same belief system. They're on their own journey. So it's very important for us to remember that about other people's assent for us to do that for them. Because if we just assume something that we would like, and that's why so many people get really angry with God, and it isn't really always that. It has to do with so many things. And that's why whenever I ask for something, whenever it is, whatever it is, that I always asked, this or something better now manifests for me or them in totally acceptable ways for the highest good of all concerned, because we don't know what the highest good is for everyone. And so we have to make sure that we do that. We cannot change other people's lives. They have to change them by themselves. And if they don't want to, or they're resistant to it, or they don't believe in it, we can send them our love. We can send them our love, everything that we have, but we can't make their life different. It's very, very important to know. Oh, Kim, I thought it did. I thought you posted and everybody saw that. Oh, Sharon, that's a good question. I'll ask that question. All right. So she says, oops, I posted the wrong one. It was about Target. Will Target stand up to the bullies about selling Pride merchandise? That's a really good question. So my husband said to me yesterday, there's a sign that is available for people at businesses as well that says all people are welcome here, or everyone is welcome here, or something like that. And he just ordered one for his office. And I said to him, what if somebody doesn't like that? Because who knows? And he said, I don't think I'll have that problem, but if I do, perhaps that they need to find another place to go. And we don't ever want to turn people away, but we don't ever want to turn people away. So, yeah. Awesome. So Target. Oh boy. So the four-leaf clover comes up. The four-leaf clover comes up and says that they have a prosperous relationship with LGBTQ people and probably LGBTQ merchandise. And why would they want to have anything to do? Because you don't have to buy something if you don't want to buy it. And this is the key. And so I would like to think they won't cave, that they will change their minds on this. It says here that they have the freedom and the determination to go forward with whatever decision that they make. And I'm hoping that they make the right decision. And it's all about the money. It's all about the money. If they feel like they're going to lose money in maybe some of the redder areas where people don't care for, I don't know. Maybe they will. I will tell you this. I have not been to Walgreens, and I will not go to Walgreens because Walgreens in California, not Ron. What am I talking about? Newsom said that they were pulling all the mifepristone and abortion pills out of all the Walgreens, and they wouldn't give them out. And so he refuses now to even support Walgreens, even though there's other drugs you can get there. And my feeling was that's the way that things get sort of taken care of. People will start to pull out, and they will. And I know that might hurt the people that work there, but that isn't the key. For me, if I work somewhere, I'd like to believe that I believe in the company I work for. I believe in the integrity of the company and the people that work at the company. I, in my life, cannot work for a place that doesn't resonate with my own integrity. So, I'm hopefully other people will leave if they need to and get a job at a different pharmacy. But these are the way things work. And I'm thinking that it's very possible that Target is gonna see that maybe. Hopefully so. Yeah, so much has happened, Anne. You won't recognize it when you come here. The states are kind of scary. Yeah. You saw a short video, Mary, a short Target video, and it made you cry? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Was it about them taking out the merchandise? Oh. Yep. Oh, Sherry, I had no idea that they refused to sell your pain medicine. If they didn't agree with, well, you're in Louisiana. Oh, wow. Good for you, Sherry. That's crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. Wow. Vote with your dollars. Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem legal, does it? It doesn't seem like it. Not at all. Not at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had a really wonderful time with you. I'm coming up on an hour. I've got to do some preparation for one of my last classes tonight, so I'm going to go. But I thank you for being here, for being in with me and spending an hour of your day with me. And again, if you are interested in reading this book, I don't get any money for it, so it's just your Wayne Dyer. Some people don't care for him, but anyway, he's great, I think. But everybody has an opinion. So love you guys. Thank you all for being here. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.